Yes, people, welcome to another Chelsea live stream. Chelsea unfortunately lost 1-0 away from home against Dortmund. Very unlucky game, good performance in my eyes. But I think a lot of fans basically want Potter out, people. Co-host today, Matt J. Wall, I'll let you take over, man.
Yeah, I mean, same old. Someone just fucking.
Does he need to go? Does he need to go now?
No, I don't think this game there is much of a problem with Potter. It's the fact that we are defensively, apart from one counter attack moment from a corner, fine. Midfield is fine, bit slow in build up, but same old. We're creating chances, but no one is just putting it in the back of the net. And at the end of the day, Graham Potter cannot physically on that pitch and put the ball in the back of the net. At the end of the day, it's up to the players at that point. And for the love of God, no player can put the ball into the back of the net. Yeah, there was a couple of good saves that Enzo won at the end. There was a couple of good saves from the goalkeeper as well. So we can't just blame it all on every player can't shoot. But there are just some players that just I'm really trying to say, like, give you a chance. But I don't know how many more times I can give some of these players chances. Even some of the new guys, Felix looks really good.
Felix, yeah.
But every time he takes a shot, it's so timid. It's almost like they know that they're going to miss before they've even taken a shot, and they know they're not going to score. So if you're, and this is the whole point of the mentality coach. If a player knows that when they're going to take that shot, they're not going to score, then they're never going to score. And
that's typical Michael Owen quote right there, people.
That's something you can put on Potter. At the end of the day, Potter cannot get on the pitch and put the ball back in the net.
Thank you, Michael Owen, on BT Sport. Guys, everyone that's tuned in, man, like the video. Felix let me down today. Not gonna lie to you, he looks special. Don't get me wrong, but the finishing just wasn't good enough. Even my cat wants to get in right now, people. Alfred, nice name, racist result.
Can you hear me?
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can hear you, man. Talk to us.
Cool, man. Goal line clearances, posts. Fucking hell, man! I can't believe it. An incredible performance. I thought I was obviously apart from the scoreline in the end. I was extremely happy with what I saw. Matt, I know that you're frustrated. I know a lot of people are, but I have to say, I cannot believe I'm saying this about Chelsea Football Club this season. But when they come to Stamford Bridge, I honestly think they're going to get slapped, mate.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah. Incredibly unlucky. Felix with the crossbar, very, very disappointing. That didn't go in, and just, quite a few other chances as well. But we looked the best, in my opinion, even with this loss, the best we have looked all season. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the second leg.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But before Karen as well, Wayne Molds, man, talk to me.
Yeah.
Oh, you good, boys? I'm actually feel positive. I know we lost, but I like the endeavour with the players. Yes, there's ifs and buts and coulds and woulds, but I don't care about that. I care about the groundwork, and you can see the groundwork in motion. And certain players really impressed me. I think the referee set the tone, unfortunately, with the yellow card straight away, early doors with James and Silva. And at the end, it boiled over. But I am really happy with the result. It was always going to be a tough game. I didn't think we will go there and slap them and beat it easy day in. So yeah, I'm proud. There's obviously issues. I think I'm glad Todd Bowley was there, because I think he must know now that the missing part of the puzzle at the moment is the striker. someone to be that number 9, so Felix can get that person with him. Felix is that he's got to do everything he can to sign him. He looks. What I watched him under Simone to now, what I'm watching him now is completely different, and he looks so much happier. And when you see someone with a smile on his face, happy and becoming the main, like you said, Hazard player, main focus, he's becoming the player that we look at and think, yeah, he's gonna do something for us. He's gonna win, and he nearly won us the game today. He nearly won us the game the weekend, and he played for 60 minutes and got sent off, and he was the best player against Fulham. So, yeah, I'm just very positive at the moment. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to be a Matt. So
I'm not negative.
It's frustrating. Listen, it's frustrating. I think the last 2 games we played really, really well. I'm not going to be like Potter's done bad. Maybe look, some of the tactics from the corners. I'm not really sure why. Mudryk is at the back. Maybe obviously for pace. Don't get me wrong, but aerial threat he's got beaten. I think twice at least. I've seen 2 at least from what I can remember. Enzo Fernandez is always going to be beaten by the speed merchant who scored. And maybe Kepa could have done better, but it's typical Chelsea people. Typical Chelsea.
The problem with that goal was that everyone just stopped.
Yeah.
It was offside, but the referee's playing on because Dortmund have the ball, so that the referee is well in his right to play on. And it's a simple thing when you're 6, 7, 8 years old playing football. One of the first things your coach tells you is play to the whistle. The whistle wasn't blown, so you carry on. Everyone stopped, and Dortmund players didn't stop. And of course, Enzo in that situation he's not got the pace to. I thought he did as well as he could to try and bring Adeyemi out.
Yeah, but if that was Jorginho, he would have got ripped.
No, I mean,
He would have. He would have.
No, but Enzo's done what he can.
Should he have fouled him?
No,
he gets sent off.
Would that be a guaranteed sent off because it was at the halfway line when it happened?
Yeah,
it's still 1v1 with the goalkeeper. You're going 1v1.
But there was 2 men on the right coming in.
No, that would have been set straight. That would have been straight red. You do not want to miss.
In that game, I don't know if you noticed, guys. This is what one thing I will say about Potter is Chilwell had a moment on that left-hand side, and when he got up, you can see he was struggling. And he had 10 minutes, and then he decided to make that sub. If he made that sub when I saw that move and thought, what, I've got Cucurella on, and bring on Cucurella straight away, then he would never took that corner when he whipped it in. And you can see, if you watch him when he's running, he was the only one running back on that side with Fernandez, and he was literally, he pulled up at the halfway line and said, I can't run anymore. And there's no one else near him. There's no other player that can come and help Fernandez. Silva was the only one was able to get back. That is what I'm trying to say to you, is that he should have straight away thought, what, bang, substitution, get there. Obviously, Chilwell's done really well. He's played 60 minutes. Let's not push it. Let's get Cucurella on. Let's be safe. Not sorry. And he didn't. He risked it too long, and it bit us on the arse. It did. But saying that, Chilwell, I thought there was a much better player on that left hand side than Cucurella when he started. He looked more solid. He looked more. I didn't have a worry on that left hand side that he's going to get done, or he wasn't going to get up and down. He was making really good balls with Felix and Mudryk. But no, I think that is Potter's fault. Potter should have realised, look at it quickly and be more proactive with his substitutions. But other than that, there's no bad word you can say about the game.
At the end of the day, I think he was just waiting. The poor bastard. You saw that everything was just going so well. He was just. It's like he was so sure that moment was coming. He waited as long as he could. I think we all felt that something was coming, probably including him. It just didn't happen in the end. But yeah, I don't really have anything against anything that he did in this game. You know, it was just friggin' very, very bad luck for us today. Everything went against us. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said,
you go.
that game, it just reminds me of Thomas Tuchel.
Here we go. Here
No,
we
but
go, guys.
but we were very good for the majority of the pitch. We just can't finish a dinner. And I'm not being funny if we're going to talk about some of the Potter outs. I didn't want Tuchel out, so it's the same type of play. It's exact. It reminds me. I think was it the Everton game where I think it was Anthony Gordon or one of the other youngsters scored. Exactly the same thing, all over him for the whole game, doing really well apart from putting the ball in the back of the net. One counter-attack goal, and it's 1-0. It's the typical Chelsea result at the moment. And the problem is you just can't get it. You can't. No one's finishing the fucking ball. And it's just all we need is someone just to finish the ball. And it doesn't even have to be a striker. Because you're not when a striker comes in, you can't just rely on all your strikers getting the goals. Other people have got to help out. And other people are not good enough. And I think yes, we do. I think we need to get someone up top because Kai is not good enough. As much as Kai.
Could you ever have a penalty? Could you have a penalty?
No, it's not a penalty.
He done really well there, man.
Sule didn't get Kai or the ball. Kai just fell over with emotions. It just sums up Kai. Does one thing really well and then completely messes it up simultaneously after.
Matt, on a positive note, guys, Arsenal lost 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's no point of talking about the top two.
No, I need to. Arsenal lost 3-1.
We haven't got the clout to talk about Arsenal losing.
No, we do. They've bottled the lead.
Let's bottled the lead.
Alfred, you agree with me, right? I know you agree with me.
Matt, I'm sorry, man, but I've been waiting for this
I've been dying for this.
I've been wanting this.
This is not new news to me. Like, it's just usual. It's like, but my point is, I think we really need to go down this into the mental route. I don't think we need to just get a new striker and think that's going to solve all our problems. We need to go into the mental aspect, break each individual player down and go, what is stopping you from scoring? Because I do think it is really a mental thing. And this is why no matter who we bring in, no matter who's playing on the pitch, it's not changing. And you can't blame a manager for shooting. You can do as much shooting drills on the training ground, but nothing replicates a match situation. And it's bemusing. I've never seen a team so poor with their finishing in my life.
Yeah, but Matt, you're forgetting a couple of very important things in regards to today, man. Felix hit the crossbar. Very, very unlucky. That happens.
But Alfred, this happens too often.
Yeah,
no,
but the rest of them,
it doesn't.
We've been
really bad, man. We've been really bad.
No, but I'm saying no, but I'm not even talking about Potter's recent form. I'm going back to when Tuchel was here, and it's the exact same thing. Yeah, we had a couple of times on Tuchel where we unluckily hit the crossbar as a good save, but there was also times where we had fucking easy chances that we should have at least had some of the opportunities today. We didn't even try get the keeper. We didn't even test the goalkeeper at all. And
today's on Felix though. Today's Felix.
I'm going to watch League One teams at times, just watching football, and I see them finishing the ball fine. If a League One player can, at the end of the day, in simple situations like that, finish the ball, then these Premier League players should have no problem. But I don't think it's so much of a technical thing. I think mentally there is a mental block in each and every one of these players, and it's even the new players. They come in, think they're all fine, hunky dory, but they're getting infected in it as well. And this is where I think this guy from New Zealand really needs to look at and go, what is stopping you guys scoring? And then we can try and get over this, because I don't see name a forward, whatever forward we get in the summer. I don't think that's going to be the solution. Really,
I get what you're saying, Matt, but I don't look at it because finishing it needs to be better. I agree with that, and the mental coach, hope you can help with that side of it. But if you look at the basics, you look at how we're playing now is probably the best tactically playing now than I have seen for a couple of years. Even under Tuchel, I'm on about before Lampard. We was literally moving when we was moving that ball with Felix and that. It was absolutely mesmerising some of the movements that they was making, and with Silva in that back line, with Fernandez in that midfield, I am so looking forward to seeing what is going to develop in the future, because we have got some scary team when it gets clicked. And I can't look. We've got Mudryk. I don't care. I like him. I think yes, he can lose the ball, but if he gets it right, my God, that game he gets it right, everyone's going to talk about him.
Yeah, but we need it now, Matt. I mean, Wayne, we need it now.
We can't always have everything straight away like Matt does. You know what I mean? When Matt clicks his fingers, everyone jumps to him.
Everything's been
We
bad.
can't do that.
Bad. Where's our positive? Where's our wins?
Hold on, Sadiq, we know that Mudryk is going to take a bit of time to get into it.
Bro, he was really bad.
I don't think it was really bad. I think it was.
No.
I think the commentator
he reminded me of
Pulisic. The commentator said it really well. It felt like he was on the edge of just doing something greatness, but it just didn't happen. And I think it is purely the fact of he is almost in a pre-season mode at the moment, and this is why he's getting taken off, because as we've said before, he hasn't played a competitive before the games that he's played now. He hasn't played a competitive game since the end of October, because that's when the Ukrainian season ends. They have a winter break, and then it starts again. So he is effectively in that pre-season mode where everyone else is in summer. And when you're in that mode, you're 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Matt, I get what you're saying. Honestly, I get what you're saying. But when you got a hefty price tag like that and you can't do basics, bro. There's no
you're just thinking of it very black and white.
No, I'm not. If he's not ready, don't start him. It's as simple as that. Yeah, just don't start him.
Yeah, but Sadiq, who are you going to put on? Because you've already dropped Mount.
Mason Mount.
He's good enough. You've already made the point of dropping Mount because he's not good enough. Ziyech is not good enough. Pulisic is injured. Sterling's not here yet. If you want to say Sterling on the left, Madueke on the right, unfortunately Havertz up top because I don't think that's going to change, and you want to put Mudryk off the bench, I'm not a problem with that. But Sterling ain't available, so you've dropped Mount, and obviously you've made a point of dropping Mount, so you cannot pull him back in now.
Okay. It's a fair point. It's a fair point, guys. Just very quickly, I want to know from all of you guys in the comments: are you Graham Potter in or Graham Potter out? Let me know in the comments down below and why. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff as well. Hit the bell notification. And also, I had a Twitter fan come at me saying it's Gallagher's and Mount's fault today. And all I can say is if we had those two in the team, we wouldn't even see a 10th of these chances today. I can assure you that. Let's see what we've got here. We've got outs. We've got in, out, shake it all about. Before the match, I was Potter out. After this match, I'm Potter in. Get in. Get in.
That's an interesting one. You haven't got many of them today.
But that's what I said about this game and last game. We've actually done well. Like, I know it's really bad result.
We don't deserve to got one. We do not deserve to have 1 point out of 6 points. Out of six, effectively.
Yeah,
it's a tough game, but
let's see what we've got here, people. In, can't even blame him. Potter into Sindre. Sharp says Potter in. E says in. Hashim says in. May N says Potter out. We can't win with a nice guy in charge. He has no urgency or winning mentality. Wow. Potter out for dropping Minimal's Mount. out says Bashka. We've got Lambert. Look, you guys, I've not seen your names before, so please make sure you guys subscribe. I mean, you can only comment if you subscribe, so big up to every single one of you lot. But like the video as well, as it helps on the channel, and make sure you guys subscribe. Just a quick note as well. I'll be on holiday for the next 10 days. I will not be on social media. I was hoping for Dortmund win. Dortmund lost tonight. But Matt J. Bull will be taking over this channel, people. And it's all up to Matt J Ball, what he wants to do. He's got the login details as well. He can actually steal my account right now. That's how much I trust the guy. You know how serious this is, people. So if you don't want to see,
locks the DK out of his own channel.
exactly. So if you guys want to see more streams, more content, comment in, put some comments in, message Matt, and hopefully he can deliver some goods, people. But look, enough of me talking. Is everyone here Potter in or out, man? Let's hear this as well in the panel.
I am Potter in. I think it's Potter.
I'm Potter in as well. Alfred?
I wasn't even Potter out before we started playing this beautiful football. Why the fuck would I be Potter out now?
I have to ask. I have to ask, but please keep it PG, my friend. Way modes. I'll leave the best to last.
I just can't see anyone out there that can come in and do the job at the moment to put her in.
Yeah.
There you have it.
This guy's funny. Is this secretly Johnny putting this in? The same Johnny that said Potter's going to be the next Sir Alex Ferguson in October.
I'm not going to lie to you. Johnny might be the brown envelopes himself, you know.
No, this is the thing. I called out Johnny for this, and he won't reply to me because, unfortunately, Johnny only replies to people that he knows he can win against in an argument. But even though he doesn't anyway, but he thinks he can. As it's always the number one saying is, you don't throw stones in glass houses. Normally the loudest people talking about agendas, this, that, and that, are normally the people with agendas themselves. And he has got the most blatant agenda against Americans in terms of Bowley, Pulisic, etc. Blatant agenda against Potter because he has a love affair of Tuchel, which is fine. I am one of the rare breeds that I really like Tuchel. I didn't think he should have got sacked, but I'm not taking that out on Potter because it's not Potter's fault. And I can understand why Tuchel potentially was sacked. I probably don't. I still, to this day, I don't really believe it. Not believe it, but I don't.
Hey, you're a brown envelope.
I wouldn't do it. But it is what it is. But Johnny is one of the most toxic people in this fan base because he's the biggest agenda merchant. And all he's doing is trying to get clicks, trying to get views, because he knows this controversial stuff sells quite easy. And he has to.
Let's have it right.
But eventually, they all get found out in the end. I mean, Johnny needs to be smart and keep his receipts at least, because that was only 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months ago. Let's see what you said 3 years ago. You're not going to catch me out like that. I mean, I can change my opinion. I will gladly say on here, I've changed my opinion. But look, Johnny completely ruined himself, and he does it on a daily. I mean, it's easier to call out some of the things Johnny says, but it is what it is. That's what.
Thank you, Mr. Real.
That's what happens when you debate with someone with one brain cell.
Matt J. Bull on fire, just like Mercedes' new car that was released today. It looks absolutely brilliant. Sorry to mention F1, but Lewis Hamilton 8th championship is on his way. That's what I think, anyway. But
I don't think it'd be Lewis. I think it'd be Russell over Lewis.
Let me tell you something. I really believe Russell will be told to let Hamilton win during the season. That's what I think, because they're going to tell him he's going to retire after this, and then it's all yours. That's what they're going to tell him. They don't want another Rosberg situation ever again. That's what they said. So, boy, Russell, you're going to be a yes man like Graham Potter, basically.
Oh God.
We've got a super chat here very quickly as well. Hey, by the way, McLaren are going to be bad as usual as well. We've got a super chat here. Siranaf, big up to you. We need a target man. Yes, we need you up top, my friend. We paid dearly for not converting those chances. Chile proved his worth. I might have to argue against that. Big up the panel. We are far from glory and need patience. Yes, Matt, you need patience. But Matt,
I'm giving Potter time.
As mentioned, Matt J. Bull, I need to disappear, unfortunately. I've got a very, very early flight. I do want to say a big up support to Matt, Alfred, and Wayne. Always supporting the thing as well. But I'll catch you guys soon as well.
Zeke, I hope you have an amazing, amazing time, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'll see you guys soon, though, man.
Yep.
Take care.
Alfred,
Yes,
I'll let you answer this.
Okay.
Mully H wants a bit of positivity from you right now. I think he's down in the dumps and needs a bit of help. Alfred, what have you got for us? Positiveness.
Oh, absolutely. You just have to look at the football that we're playing at the moment. I mean, I know it didn't go well today. Last couple of games as well, same thing. But you can just see what the team is trying to do. It's looking phenomenal, and this is also without even Santos and Cuckoo in the team. And whoever else we might bring in, in the next transfer window, if we do, we probably will. There's no doubt in my mind that we are building something incredible. I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think that we would be seeing the football that we're seeing this quickly. I believe that the goals will come, but at the moment, I'm just so happy to see this breath of fresh air that we've been seeing from the team in this last few games. We've looked really, really good, and we just need that little bit more patience because things are going to start happening in this team, and it's going to be glorious, and rivals are going to absolutely cry.
Yeah, I mean, the next point that I kind of want to discuss, and I was having an argument with a few people on Twitter about this, was substitutes and lack of delay. Obviously, Wayne's kind of covered the Chilwell one, and I can understand Wayne's point with that. I can also understand from a different point of sometimes when a player gets a knock, you do want to try and see if a player can run it off before straight away making a sub. But I can understand both ways and both mindsets from that. But a lot of people moaning that subs weren't done quickly enough, and obviously the only sub that was made, apart from Chilwell potentially being rested, was Mudryk coming off for Mount, which again I've kind of obviously already explained that was probably a preemptive substitution as well. Would you criticise Potter for that, Alfred?
No, I wouldn't. Like I said earlier, I just think he wanted to keep the momentum that we had going for as long as possible, because when you start making changes, it can either go very right or very wrong. But this entire game, we just looked unbelievable in my opinion. And yeah, like I said earlier, I think Potter just felt like things were looking good, and they were gonna, something was going to eventuate, and he just wanted to wait as long as he could until they made changes.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne, I looked at it and went, well, who do you bring on to really change something? Half of the bench are defenders, so when you're a goal down, you're trying to win the game. Changing a defender is not really going to make a lot of difference. You had Mount, who you've just dropped, and no one really wants. Certain members of the fan base do not want on the pitch anyway, and there's not really anyone else on the bench. So, are you a bit confused of why everyone's moaning so much about Potter, or can you see what people are saying?
I can see what people are saying. I can understand that there could have been more subs. There could have been. There could have been brought Gallagher on, Chukwuemeka. I'm trying to think. I'm talking about Kovacic. There could have been some subs who could have made a difference in that way. With the Chilwell, I get what you're saying, but it's his first game he started. He's come on and done a few minutes here and there, but he hasn't really started the game yet. And if you look at James when he first started, he took him off at 60th minute. So you would have thought he'd get the same treatment with Chilwell when he didn't. He left him on too long, and it affected us. And if he reacted like he did for James and like we should have done, then I don't think it would have been a bad substitution. Yes, it's not like for like, because Cucurella obviously is not the same as Chilwell, but at least we know we had the same structure. I don't think we would have got caught out so easily on the corner. He has, when his substitutions he has made, he hasn't made a productive substitution yet in the match where I look at and think that's a productive substitution. The only one that he's done that I've looked at and said yes was probably Maduki coming on at half time for Mudryk. But other than that, it's very negativity of his substitutions. Yes, he hasn't had a lot to deal with when it comes to injuries. He's more defensively on the bench, but it don't mean he can't change it to make it offense. Yes, there might be defensive players in the paper, but it don't mean he can't change it. Like, I'm not saying he would have done, but with Havertz not working out, nothing stopped him think, well, I know what I do. I'll put Chalobah in the central defence and put Koulibaly and chuck him up there as a target man. And he would have been like a target man. Nothing would have stopped him, and easily could have done it. There's ways he could have changed it in a positivity sort of way, and he hasn't done that, and he has been very negative. But I just think at the moment we've got to respect that this is his first major job. He's never been in this situation before. We've never been in this situation before as a club. We're dealing with a new entity, a new ethos, and we've all got to sit back and just watch what happens, give it time. We can't just judge like we did with Abramovich, because it is a different kettle of fish. Abramovich did it in a different way. He didn't mind throwing money and changing things when they needed to be changed and be ruthless, because that's the sort of way he wanted to run the club. Bowley and Berherg, I think they're changing the philosophy, and we need to follow suit as a fan base.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the subs kind of now, and you just going through it one by one. Obviously, you got Bettinelli and Bergstrom, obviously goalkeepers, so you're not going to put them on obvious reasons. Then you go through, you've got Wesley Fofana, who has just come back from injury. I don't expect to throw him on to try and change a game. I think that's just very unfair on him. You've got Chalobah, who, yes, you can do, as you said, throw a target man up there, but at the same time, if he did that and it didn't work, then everyone would moan of why you bring on a defender when you try and win the game. As for Laqueta, God no, do not even. That was not even, just for me. That's not even an option. Lewis Hall, could you have put him on to be a bit more attacking, going at it? Potentially, that could have been an option. Gallagher, I don't see what Gallagher would have really have done to change it. I think that just would stabilise the midfield more. Zakaria, Kovacic. Is it they could do a bit better than Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a bad game in that respect. And I think if you bring on Kovacic, I think that just means you don't have Enzo Fernandez can't go forward as much. I just don't know whether that's the best sub to put on. And then you're looking at the only one left really is that you haven't already put on is Chukwuemeka. And when you're relying on a just turned 19-year-old to change the game, and that's your only real sub apart from the ones you've already put on, that's the problem. That's you're in trouble. You are in trouble. There's nothing really to bring on. And sometimes I always find when people talk about, we must make substitutions. Well, if the substitutions aren't really going to change the game in a huge degree, sometimes it is better with just keeping what you've got, especially since it wasn't a thing of we were just completely struggling. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of it. The play itself was okay. That wasn't the problem. If our build-up play was rubbish, and I can understand throwing on a Kovacic, trying to change it that way, but that wasn't the problem. It was just getting the ball in the back of the net. And you're missing your Sterlings that would potentially do that. Obviously, Fofana is not registered. Aubameyang is not registered, and that is potentially the problem, is you don't have these players registered, and there is nothing up there. You've got Maduki that's not registered, and it's just there is nothing really to bring on. And sometimes it's I know we are losing, so you are broken, but it's the idea of don't fix what's not broken. There's no point in just putting on subs for the sake of it. If a sub doesn't make sense, then don't put a sub on. And sometimes it's better if it might have been if Potter just left it as it. We could have got a goal, and if Enzo Fernandez scored, then no one would be moaning about Potter substitutions. Really, there would be some, but you'd always be there. People that are, but it just is what it is. I think we need to find a way out of this slump. I think we will get out of it, but it is very frustrating. I think it's obviously the 2 out of 14. It doesn't look good, but I do think we are starting to change performance. I think we've been much better defensively, and if you look at as I put out on a tweet, it's a lot of draws. It's not a lot. We're not losing lots of games. Obviously today we have lost, but we're not losing lots of games. We're drawing a lot of games, which when you're trying to improve a team, the first thing that you want to do is make yourself solid at the back. And I feel like we have done that. We have a very solid structure at the back now. We're not conceding. We're not doing what we did at City and conceding loads of goals. We're not conceding loads of goals like we did before the World Cup.
Yeah.
We look defensively solid, apart from odd moments, which obviously can happen. And performances are starting to get better. It's just we just haven't been able to get that result. And obviously, it is a results game business, but and that the results do need to come. But I do think it will just start to click into place eventually. And we aren't in the league. We aren't far away from 5th, 6th place. It's a couple of wins, and we're right into it. We're already near enough in it anyway. So I think if we can just get a couple of wins on the board, I think it just really settles it down a little bit. But I think we are going in the right direction. It's just maybe it's not as fast as what people would like, but I just think it's our fan base being our fan base, really. People talking about Southampton, they've had one more win than us in a certain amount of period of games. It's like, well, yes, but they're still at the bottom of the table. That's why they're sacking their manager, not just because of the run. And also, he's completely lost the players in terms of dressing room. There's no signs of Potter losing this dressing room at all. It's just for one reason or another, we're just not getting the results. I feel the West Ham game, we were kind of robbed a little bit.
A little bit, definitely.
Yeah, we were robbed, and there has been just situations and sometimes football is a game of just moments, small moments, small gaps, and we just have unfortunately been on the few wrong ends of it. But it does balance out in the end. I think we will start getting a few results coming up. Obviously, Southampton is a good game to go into. Obviously, I don't think they're going to have a manager by the time we get there, so they're not really going to have a manager bounce. And they don't look settled at all. So hopefully we can get a result against Southampton, build into that. Obviously, we've got Tottenham, and then we've got Dortmund again. But hopefully we can just start building. Tottenham don't look very good at all either. So hopefully we can just. I feel like that Tottenham game could be the game that Spurs is on. Not to use the pun of Spurs, but it could be really the game, the moment that just turns the season around a little bit, because that's always a game that gives us confidence and brings out the best in Chelsea players. And hopefully, if we can do that, then we can push on and potentially try and get results, get back into this leg. I mean, it's a 1-0. It's not the end of you don't want to be 1-0 down, obviously, but we still can get a result from this. It's not like it's completely out the window. It's not like we're 3-0 down, 2-0 down. We can still get back into this if we do put up a good performance. I think if we can put up the performance we did today and just get some bloody goals in, then we should be okay. But it is what it is. I just can you just believe the luck as well about this?
Just ridiculous. But like I said, you talked about their keeper earlier when you mentioned that we didn't even make their keeper work. Well, here's the thing, right? The keeper couldn't do shit. He needed his defenders.
That Enzo save was quite good though.
I'm sorry. Apart from that one though, but those other ones where it was cleared off the line, he needed his defenders.
I looked at that just for no, it's not my it's just not my day. It's just not our day. When you see that just gets cleared off the line, just like
yeah, just unbelievably bad luck, and I can't believe it. But this performance, man, I know this is a weird thing to say, but we lost, but I feel like we won. it's that's how happy I am with the effort that we played in, that we put in, and I'm so confident that we're gonna go through at the bridge, and I'm looking very forward to see how we bounce back from this. It's going to be another very good game, I think. And I just want to say about players that we could have brought on before. I'm still so cut up and so pissed off that we left out Aubameyang completely, because
yeah. I mean that is the one thing I'm quite look at and go, well, we haven't got a striker on there, and you've just left Aubameyang completely out.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't know what is up with it. If Potter just doesn't think he's part of the plans, and it's as simple as that. Because from what I've heard, from what I've understand, the club and sources around the club have confirmed that there's not any trouble within the club. Aubameyang hasn't done anything wrong. It's just Potter doesn't think he's his man, which yes, I understand. And this is where this is the one thing that irks me about Potter a little bit is when you see how bad Kai Havertz is week in, week out, and I really, for Carlito's sake, I really want to see and give Havertz as many chances as I can to try and see what Carlito sees. But I just don't see it. And as Josh's comment, Josh, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So I feel like I'm like a psychopath at the moment with Chelsea. You just got to laugh it off, and just it's not the right reactions you normally have. But Chelsea just made me go insane. That's the best way I can leave it. But going back to the Havertz thing, I think when Havertz is playing so bad week in, week out, it just makes that Aubameyang choice just a bit more weird every single time. And I do understand the point of not throwing Dacha Fofana completely into it, because he's a kid and this could completely bollocks his confidence by just throwing him completely in straight away. So I can understand him not throwing Dacha Fofana in completely. I do think it would be nice to have him come off the bench in the Premier League games, but and obviously Champions League, he's not in it, which I can completely understand. I wouldn't have picked him in my free. So I don't blame Potter for that, but it's just frustrating to see. And it is what it is. I just don't really know. Something we need to get some luck going our way. Obviously Sterling is coming back very soon. Fofana, I don't know whether Fofana goes straight back in, because I think Badiashile and Silva look like they've got that locked down.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think Sterling's the main man, and then Kante to come in. So it is what it is. We'll see.
It's nice headaches to have, though, isn't it?
Josh, I think Lewis Hall was in the Champions League spot anyway. I don't think that changed with Abba, but correct me if I am wrong from that. I don't know. I thought he was already in the squad, because I've seen him on the bench within the first half of the season. So I could be wrong, but there you go.
It just pisses me off, man. He's proven what a good finisher he can be on his day, man. How the hell do you leave a player that talented that can make such a big difference out of the biggest competition of the season, especially when we got nothing left to play for. Far out. I understand if you wanted to keep him fit for a Premier League run, or in case we needed somebody fresh for the cup runs. But we had nothing more to play for anymore, except for the Champions League this season. It's I'll never understand. He must have done something. That's the only thing, the only possible thing.
That's the thing. I just feel like we've just completely screwed. Like, I actually feel sorry for Aubameyang. Not completely sorry, because he earns a fuck ton of money. So in a way, you can't be sorry for these people in that respect. But the fact that he had the trouble that he had over in Paris just before he arrived, he didn't really want to. I don't think he was really desperate to leave Barcelona. I think he was enjoying himself there. He was scoring goals, but obviously Lewandowski's come in. Barcelona said, "Well, you're not going to play, so we'd be happy to get you off the books for some money." Chelsea have come in. He's thought and looked and gone, "Oh, I can go play with my best buddy Tommy Tuchel," and then Aubameyang got minutes with Thomas Tuchel before he was out the door. Aubameyang must just be looking like, "What have I done?" And obviously Potter doesn't rate him. It's just kind of like, it just, I just feel so sorry for the bloke, because everyone's now just calling him a flop, and Arsenal fans are laughing. I just really don't think it's Aubameyang's fault. I just think it's you've just completely. It's a sign that you've just. If you knew, this is the one thing I have with Bodie, is that if you knew you were sacking Tuchel, why did you bother bringing in Aubameyang in the first place?
Yeah, that's right. It's a very strange one.
Especially if you had an idea you were bringing in Graham Potter as well, I'm sure you would have asked. You would have given a heads up and gone, "Hey Graham, do you like Aubameyang, or do you think would he not work for you?" Because then you just don't. You do it or not. I don't know. I hope Aubameyang because I don't really want him to go to America. I want him to go back to someone else who can get the best out of him. It really wouldn't surprise me. I have a funny feeling if Kai doesn't go to Bayern Munich in the summer, I just feel like I have a funny feeling that he might go Bayern Munich, because they obviously do not have a striker at the moment. Lewandowski is not there anymore, and I think that could potentially work. I think he enjoyed Germany. I don't see why he wouldn't want to go back.
That's true.
But yeah, I just feel sorry. But Serena, it's a good comment here. We want Kante combo back with Enzo, making the midfield free in the centre. The problem with that is I think that's too defensive. Would you agree with that, Alfred?
Well, they both can be pretty good going forward as well, don't they?
Yeah, but I just feel like then where do you put Felix? Do you put Felix up front?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
I like the fact that Felix is in that number 10 role, because he can then work in the half space. I feel like Felix won't work as well up just up top on his own, especially at the moment especially if you've got no one behind. You need a Felix behind Felix to help him out. I feel like if you're going to have Felix up top and then just have Kante and cover, I don't think that's going to help Felix out at all. I would like to see a rotation of Kova, Kante, and Zakaria in that double six with Enzo. I think they all bring different stuff, depending on the game. Obviously, they all fit different games. So I think that's something that I'd like to see, and then have Felix in the middle. I'd like to see one of the two of the three of Madueke, Sterling, Mudryk on the wings, whichever ones you want. You can switch it around depending on game to game, and then I would have Kai Havertz up front potentially, or even if you wanted to throw at me and just go Mudryk on the left, Madueke on the right, and Sterling up top, I wouldn't be completely against that either. Because Sterling and Felix can then swap. Sterling can go into the number 10, and Felix can drop up and that can swap around a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing that if you really want to just get Havertz out of there, which I am just. It's frustrating. It's just frustrating watching Kai now. In one part of me just really wants him to smash it, and he's just not. He's just not giving me anything just to grab and be positive. What do you think about that situation?
No, I completely agree. Well, I've been that's why I was so happy that Aubameyang came in. I thought he was going to make a big improvement to that problem, but unfortunately, all the crap that has happened in the club has not allowed that, at least not yet. But yeah, you've had him there, you've got him there even now, and you're still playing Kai Havertz. Change it up, man. Change it up. Sometimes I wish I could just call these managers myself and ask them what they're doing.
You'd love to know what's in Potter's head, just to see if it because you might find, especially the people that might be Potter out, if you could just read his mind and realize what's going on in his head, you might actually just go, do you know what? I actually kind of understand that a little bit, but obviously we don't, and we just look at decisions and then we just judge them. Obviously, Gaming Rider is spamming right now, sack Potter. If you cannot spam, that would be great, so we can actually read some of the other comments. But this is an interesting stat. I don't know whether from Hazim if this is true, but if it is, that is absolutely embarrassing for Cucurella, isn't it, Alfred?
Yeah, well, I like Chilwell a lot more. Anyway,
I always said when Cucurella come in, I was like, it's very expensive for a backup left back, but there you go. It is what it is. Because I think Chilwell is one of the best left backs in the league, and I remember back in the day fighting Kazilla every stream about Chilwell because he was going on about how Robertson, Tierney, he was listing off random. I think he listed off Luke Shaw as well. I was like, nah, you're scraping the barrel with this one. But I think Chilwell's great. So I think hopefully his injury woes are behind him and we can get the best out of him. I think he is okay. I think it's that last 10% match fitness that he's struggling with a little bit at times. And that comes over time, so I'm not worried about that. And Reece James, in a way, has had that in a couple of games, and he's now getting back into what he was as well. That just takes time. I think Chilwell is getting into that now. I think other players, Sterling will probably have that same. Sterling might be all right because he's had a little bit less time off, but Sterling will have that issue as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Any guys that want to put some comments in the chat? We will try and answer as much as we can for the last 7 minutes before we finish. Azim's put another comment. Southampton is easy game. We should win 6-0. No Chelsea game is easy. But there you go. And then beat Spurs 1-0. If our confidence is sky high and if Tottenham's confidence is shaken, then we have to. Yeah, I mean, it only takes a couple of wins to change this slump around. And hopefully it will come. I'm begging it comes because I don't, as much as I really want Potter in, I think if we lose Southampton, don't beat Spurs and don't beat Dortmund, it's really going to put me down. I may not be Potter out at that point, but it's really going to just piss me off. But it is what it is. What does he say? Koulibaly played well. Yeah, Alfred, what did you think of Koulibaly today? Do you think he played quite well?
Yeah, man, he's another player that I just hope that is gonna, find his feet as well. He's been struggling. Some people want him gone. So, but we'll see what happens. I actually think everybody played well today. I was so impressed with the performance, and I honestly think. How many games do we have before we play Dortmund again? 2 or something?
I think it's Southampton, Spurs, and then Dortmund.
Well, I honestly think, listen, if we have all the chances in the second leg that we had today, then we could lose to Spurs and Southampton and we'll still smash them. There's honestly, I don't see any way possible. There just can't possibly be any way if we play this way again and have this many chances again. There's no way we are not going through. I cannot. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it.
Alfred, you can never say never with Chelsea.
That's true.
It'd be very frustrating if that does happen. What's Josh saying now? We get onto it. Wow, you think you'd lose all three? We'd get to lose all three. You know, know what? You never know with these owners. I don't really know what they're. Obviously, they did sack Tuchel early, but that was outside of footballing reasons. I don't know whether you don't know what they're going to do. These owners. So, and if you look at how Bowley worked with Dodgers, the Dodgers manager has been in there for years. He seems to stick with his managers than this. You don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Well, I think if the results really still don't go, I think obviously it then really ranks up the pressure on the board. But I don't know what they're going to do. Okay, we've got Leeds, then Dortmund. Yeah, but that's again Southampton, Spurs, Leeds. We should be getting some results out of that.
Well,
Leeds is a very unpredictable game. Spurs, we got
two derbies in a row before we play Dortmund. Oh my God!
No, but I think if we get a result against Southampton, I think we will. No matter how bad a Chelsea team is, we're always up for Spurs. Yeah. I think Leeds could be the banana skin because you never know what Leeds are going to turn up, and I find with Chelsea, it's always the good side of Leeds turns up, not the bad side. So we'll see how that goes. But then if we can get results out of them 3 games and then go into Dortmund, I think we're a lot more confident. So Runaf with a comment, Felix and Mudryk are like firing and edging close to their streak. They look like someone who is revving engine on second gear when the car can smoke a lot on top gear. Their days are coming. Your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I've spoke about Mudryk. I think he's still in pre-season mode a little bit, and he's getting there. I think we just got to be a bit more patient with him. I think Felix looks good. He just needs to finish the fucking ball. That's what I find. I find Felix has been very good, but every time he takes a shot, I feel like it's just such a tame effort. It's like, fucking strike the ball, man. But there you go. Alfred, obviously, we've kind of gone over Felix and Mudryk, but again, just before we finish, thoughts on them. And a great Top Gear comment as well, Serena.
Yeah, I absolutely love them. They're an absolute blessing to us at the moment. A massive breath of fresh air in this team. I've loved what I've seen from them so far, and yeah, that they're only going to get better. I have absolutely no doubt about it. I don't think anybody is questioning that either. And I just like to say about Mudryk, man, I can't get over how quick that guy is. Far out. Speaking of cars, how fitting, because this guy runs like a car, drives at full speed. He's unreal.
Yeah, I think once Mudryk gets going, I think he'll be okay. But obviously, it's going to take time to get going. So, guys, we will leave it there for today because it is 11 o'clock my time. I do have work in the morning, and I'm sure Alfred wants to get on with his day, night, whatever time it is in Australia. I never know with Alfred. But thank you all for tuning in, and obviously big up to Sranaf again for the super chat earlier. Obviously, guys, you can put in a super chat if you want, and we obviously comment. We try and read as many comments as we can, but we will always read super chats. So if you want to super chat in future streams, there's a super chat button at the bottom of the screen, and that is greatly appreciated if you do. Alfred, thank you for coming on to the stream once again.
A joy as always.
Yeah, and obviously thank you to Wayne and Sadiq for coming on. Obviously, Sadiq, if you're listening to this or you do listen to this in the morning, hope you have a nice flight and hope you have a nice time in Saudi Arabia. Enjoy yourself. And Wayne, again, thank you for coming on. And thank you to all of you for chilling in the comments. Thank you for smashing the like button. If you haven't already smashed the like button, get us to as many likes as possible for the stream. Merch is on its way. There is technical difficulties with certain little things. It's minor things, little paperwork stuff that we need to figure out. But the merch will be out soon. We were hoping we'd get it done tonight, ready for a Dortmund win. But I'm hoping Southampton. Maybe not. We've got to sort out stuff, mainly kind of delivery and conversions of pounds and dollars at the moment is just being a bit of an arsehole. But there you go. It is the world of trying to sort stuff out in business, but it is coming soon. So watch out for that. Whenever we get it out, we will let you know. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully we get another result at Southampton. Stay tuned for potentially a preview, or if not, review straight after the match. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep watching. Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. Thank you, everyone. Peace.